So, hi again.
Mhm.
So, first question. Do you think there is a relationship between a person's socioeconomic status, so meaning their position in society and economically wise, how well off they are, monetary wise, and their education? Do you think there's a relationship there?
Yeah, there is because you know how it works. If you are not like socioeconomically and like monetary wise, you are not good. You can't have a quality education back home. So the education system back is like they have a lot of influence. If you are not from a wealthy family and you are not like a son of a rich person, you can't go and get like a quality education, and that's what is lacking behind in our society. That the wealthy people, the childrens are like studying in very like expensive schools, the English medium schools, and the other who are like the lower class or middle class, they are struggling. So yeah, the socioeconomic status do matter back home when it's come to your education.
Okay, and then you mentioned quality,
Mhm.
quality education. What do you refer to as quality? What do you think is
The quality
quality?
education I refer to is that everyone should get an equal and like equal opportunity, like what education they get. For example, if back home you see there is a different three different kind of education. If you are a son of a rich person, you have like English medium schools. If you are a son of like a poor, then you have the other board system, like it's kind of a different back home. And if you are a poor, then you have government schools. So so the quality I believe is you should like treat them three of the like levels at the same, or if you are treating them differently, so that's not quality obviously, because everyone deserve an equal chance to like come forward and get good education.
Okay. So then definitely there is a discrepancy between like how well off you do after in life if you go to either of these schools. So if you go to a either or, like it's gonna be different,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Like if you are going to a good school, obviously, for example, a person is going to a English medium school. Obviously, he'll do better than a person who is not been, because he have not been to an exposure which that person is going to.
Mm.
When it will come to his professional life and he's pursuing in life like getting a job or something, obviously that person won't be in like in a frame because he have not gained a quality education. And
Mm-hmm.
in the workplace also, he won't be given the same importance with a person with a degree of an English medium, because they'll say that he has get some quality education and they'll give him the job because obviously he has got a good CV and good resume. So yeah, that matters a lot. When you have not get a quality education, you can't do good in your life. So that's why there's a big reason like people get demotivated and they don't let their students to go and study, their children's obviously, and the students themselves get demotivated. Obviously they know if we work hard as well, we won't get like we won't be getting like a fruit for like, working hard, or we like the hard work won't pay off because our degree is not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So going off of that, do you think it's just the title saying that you went to a higher school, or do you think they are teached different things that make them like be more,
Mm,
how do you say, like
uh,
easier contract like
yeah, I
in
got
the
your point.
workforce?
Like, I don't think like nowadays the school does matter that what education they are giving. It's kind of only the name, which is like it's kind of a name that oh my god, you are studying in an English medium school. But I think the education system like still is the kind of the same thing. It's struggling because of the tuition culture and all back home. They the same kid going to school to an English medium, and after the school he's going to the tuition center. So what's the use of going to so expensive schools and colleges? So yeah, I don't think that the quality is there. It's just the name, which is it's just the kind of it's a uh, quality education, or it's an English medium education. People does go there, but I don't think that it's worth it.
Okay, that's so interesting. So, do you think, from your experience, um, your classes taught you about social problems in your local area or in the world? Do they talk about social justice?
Like me being studying in an English medium school, obviously, yeah, kind of they do talk about, but it's not the school who talked about. It's the individual instructor or professors who talk about that. It's like up to your own. It's not like compulsory, or it's not in the school. It's not like the target of the school that these children should know about this thing, which should be their target. But they don't give like they don't care. They like we are like what they just care that is he on the syllabus or something, like the content of the studies. They don't care that is he getting the education about society and all. So it's the individual, the instructor who gives you information about that, not the school. So I don't think so. Yeah.
So, what would the teachers say about social
Like
justice, or what
it's
would
the
they approach?
like yeah, the teacher would, like, if they have a class and all, so they do give like 10 or 20 minutes to like telling us that yeah, you people are studying, but it's like they tell you the importance of like your other people in the society, for example the minorities and all. You should respect minorities and all the basic things which you do, which has nothing to do with your education, because at the end of the day degree is what matters, but not only degrees which will matter, which will make you a better human being. So they do give you a little bit of their time from their lecture, in which they tell you about the society, that society has this problem, you people are youth and all, you should approach to things like this, and you should like think out of the box. So I think that's what it was like. I think it was the professor who did this, but school has like no aim of like giving us a knowledge or information about such things.
Okay, so do you have an example of a problem that they would have made you think out of the box? Like, do they give you a problem and then make you resolve it, or just talk about it?
I think that we have to deal with our own problems ourselves. Because the education system back home was kind of like, it's like very, so it's like not very good, and we have never been like, if we are into some problem and it's not related to the school or something. For example, I'm dealing with some problem in my own personal life. It's the school won't give a damn. They don't care. They'll be like, we don't care, it's your problem, you should. But like in other countries they do care for, and they do like, you can go and ask them and talk to them. But here, it's, if the problem is related to your studies, you can come and show up. But until unless it's your own problem and personal, they won't care. Yeah.
So, do you think that has to do with with the idea of schools of being better through standardized tests, meaning that if their students do better academically, then the school itself is going to be more valued?
Yeah, I think so, and I don't think so. The school only like they just like market their own thing. The students, despite the student being in the school, they go to the coaching centers and do well academically. Like they do good in academic, going to the tuitions. But at the end of the day, people think it's the school which matters. But the thing is, it's kind of like if going to an English medium school, you'll say that, oh my God, the education system is not good there. So they said it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you will get the degree of the school, which is like which is a expensive school, or which is like English medium school. So the thinking is kind of like they are making you like to gain the degree which is worth it. They don't care about the education system which they are giving. They are just saying that we got the worth degree, you are, it's like, but the focus should be on education more than the like. It is a common thinking back home that going to English medium school will give you a good degree. They don't know that what you are studying inside. They don't care. Just it's about the degree which is worth it. Like it's not about the system or inside or whatever they are going through.
Okay, so um, clearly you didn't agree with it. Um, what would you have wanted to learn, like in classes? If you could design your experience, like what classes to take, with knowledge to gain, what would have you chosen to
Yeah,
learn
the
about?
thing is, we don't have a lot of choice back home. We have like a very like few amount of subjects and stuff we can take. We don't have like a whole lot of choices we can take. So if I would have been in charge of something like that, I would have been like giving, like keeping a lot of extra things, despite which has nothing to do with the extra like with the curriculum vitae of the college. Like for example, if it comes to the syllabus and all, there should be something different that like for example, there should be lectures on like society's problem, or the injustice with in the education system and all, or the problem the children are facing while they are in schools, especially the girls and all, like the problem they are having in a school, being being a girl, what problem they face in a school and all. They should be more like concerned about these things as well, along with the education they are giving. But if I would have been more like, at the same time, I would have been focused on the other things, the problem of the countries, the economic problem, or the poverty and all. So I think I would have been giving that importance too.
Right. So, a normal week, for example,
Hmm.
how many classes do you usually took in a week?
Usually in a week, like we have like we go from like 7 a.m. to 9. We have like 8 classes. If you
Every
talk about
day.
the high school, yeah, 8 classes. It's kind of too much, and it's so overstressed. You have a whole lot of bag which a child have to like pick up in the morning, and there has been a very big trouble of the bag problem with the childrens because they're at the age of 5 or 6 and they are taking a whole big bag to the college with like 7 periods of books and notebooks. So there was a very big problem recently we encountered that the students, like the children especially, like the high school, like the middle school, they are facing the problem of back pain because of the weight of the bag. They have a lot of books to carry. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem.
Yeah, so like if you could have like say how many classes would you have taken? Like if this was an ideal world, how many classes and which would have been those classes?
I would have been taking the classes if it would have been 8 as well. So there should have been some classes online maybe, which will like help them like the e-learning and all stuff. And if you have like 8 classes, we understand it's the school policy or college. But I know it's too much. But yeah, if you don't have any other way to like reduce the classes, so you should introduce something like online classes or something like that to give some relief to the childrens. So
Mm-hmm.
like they can have some like relief and they can be better like
Mm-hmm.
in their academics and all.
Right, but if you like, if you controlled it, if you were okay, whatever I say is going to happen. How many classes would you have taken?
If I would have been, so I would have kept it to like 4 or 5 classes because back home the classes is like for 1.5 hours or something. So I think it's too much stress, like coming 7 a.m. in the morning and going back at like 3 p.m. So I think it's a long day, especially for the like middle school or high school
Right.
students.
Yeah, and like, would you still have taken math, social sciences, all of that, or what would you have chosen? Like you said, 4 to 5 classes.
Yeah.
What would your ideal, like your, oh my god, I wish for this.
I would have been, yeah, it's okay to get the math and all stuff, but I would have gotten a subject like with a journal information, like something about the society, like something like a journal subject, and about the landscape or the country, about the country or history, something like that, or like some awareness lecture on the problems, or like they will be addressing the problems which is ongoing in the society. I would love to have a subject like that in my schedule.
Okay. Um. Now, do you think a lot of people in the survey said that education frustrated creativity? Do you think that's bad?
Yeah, that is because I think it's bad because education is good until unless like you are getting education is good, but if you are creative or you have some skills, if education is damaging that, so obviously I don't think that education will work because if everyone will get education and become a doctor and engineer and anything, so we won't have artists, we won't have sportsmen, we won't have other people who got a lot of creativity, a musician or something like a lot of people are there who have not been like who are college dropout or university dropout but still they are doing so well. It's because of their creativity, it's because of they have something. They were not made for that books, studying books and getting degree studying math, because they have their own creativity which they were college or school dropout, which they save their creativity and they are like dominating the world. So I don't think so you need education so to be like successful in life. That's what I think. If you have
Okay.
creativity.
Right. How would you make schools not frustrate creativity? Is there a way that schools can negotiate the fact of traditional learning and promoting creativity, or that is just like impossible?
It's possible, but depends like on the culture as well. Back home, I don't think it's possible because it's not only the schools think the same way. It's the thinking of the society. It's the thinking of the parents. But in our culture, it's very difficult to do this thing to like save the creativity and get education. This is very difficult. But I think in general, talking about the other states and countries like US and all, I think that you will be good if you are getting your education and you are creative at the same time because they give you such platform and opportunities, so you can like nurture your creativity along with getting education if you are studying in some other states, not back home.
So back home, it is more like society is the one not allowing you to be creative, or how
Yeah,
does it
it's
work?
because it works like this. You know that what you have to do. Like the child doesn't even say that he want to become or he want to do this. He want to do this in life. It's what it's already like. decided. The parents want him to become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. They don't have other, because you don't have other option, because back way the society thinks like if you are not a doctor or engineer or a lawyer, you are nothing. So that's the thinking which like hold back the child to come up and talk to his parents that I want to do something different than this, because they think that how people will see us in society, how we will survive, people will talk about us and all stuff. So I think
Mm,
that's the problem of society.
okay. Um, do you think standardized tests? One of the questions: what if you think standardized tests work, or do they measure your abilities accurately? So a standardized test like SAT here, or
Uh-huh.
tests that make you the same tests for everyone.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
is that an accurate way of measuring your abilities?
I think SAT, yeah, SAT is also back home as well, but it's kind of again in our education for an English medium student, SAT is a perfect thing. But I don't think like an government school student or like the middle school student can do that even, because it's kind of a very difficult for them, because they at times I can even tell you they can't even read that paper, the SAT paper, the test we gave, because they don't know, they've not been getting the quality education. Their English is not far better than like the person studying the English language. I think it's a standardized for all country, but when it comes to country inside, it's a lot of problem to this test, such as SAT and IELTS and all stuff. So yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So, as an individual, do you think your entire potential is represented on a standardized test?
I don't think so. It is because I don't think so. If you do good in English and math, it's mean you are a bright student or you are something, you are excellent. Because maybe this student have not get like a good quality education when it comes to English, or he is weak in maths. So SAT only like test mathematical skills and English skills, and I don't think so. You can judge him on these two skills, because there are a lot of other things which has nothing to do with maths and English. So there are a lot of other subjects. So I don't think so. Uh,
Mm-hmm. So, if you, again, an ideal world, if you would have had the choice of choosing how you would have been graded, if grades at all, what would you have chosen?
Uh, Grading system, I think so. I would have been choosing like the student coming in the class and the way he's interacting and participating. Is he even doing his homework and stuff? I know it's good to have tests and all and quizzes, but I think it makes a student stressed out, like getting all lot of a test at the end of the year and doing nothing all over the week. I should like they should promote like everyday like conversation and uh, asking student to come up and ask questions and participate, and keeping different type of activities such as like presentations, group presentations. These are the things I think students should be graded on.
And do you think they should be graded in like a scale from one, like a numerical scale, or should it be more like a pass fail, or
I prefer not showing the percentages. Maybe that he has scored 80% or something. They should go like the grading system like A B C D or something like that,
okay,
because yeah, that will work. The grading system like such as A or B or something, A star, that this will be a better option.
okay. Um, do you think teachers are different in one school from another? Like in the high schools or
Yeah,
in the low school?
back
Yeah.
home, yeah, I think so. There's a lot of big difference in the teachers, because see, the teachers who comes into English language school, they have a lot more skills, they have a lot more education. But teachers who are in the government school, they even don't know how to behave. They are just there for they just show up, and they even treat like the children or the kids or the students, they are like animals. They beat them up and all stuff. But if you talk about the English medium schools and the other schools, and then it's not allowed to even like misbehave with the student. A teacher can't even touch the student. So there's a lot big difference between the English medium education and the government school. In government school, they beat up children when they do something wrong. If they don't do homework, they'll beat them up and all stuff. They have all rights. But in the English medium school, you can't even like touch the student or you can't even hit him or something, but it's not allowed.
Right. Do you think the people designing the system of education are doing it on purpose? Like, are maintaining these differences on purpose?
I think so. It is for the purpose because education system is back home is like now left only like they are just making money. I think so. There have been steps are in our country which are happening like people want this education system to be standardized. They want like they should give one education to everyone. But I think there are some people who don't want this because it's kind of a source of income for them. Sitting in a taking high fees and all from the student on the name of an English medium school. No one will like want to close this down and all. But yeah, there have been a lot of like efforts going on in the country to standardize the education system. There are a lot of difficulties in doing them. But yeah, it will be one day. But yeah, I think it's on purpose. Some people are doing it because they are making good money through this kind of education system. So yeah, it's a purpose of like just money. They just want money.
Just money.
Yeah.
Do you think people that are from English middle schools usually are the sons or daughters of real wealthy people?
Yeah, that's because obviously if because the fees are so much high. If you talk about the fees, a middle class person can't even afford it. A month fees is like too way too much. If you talk in our currency, it's like 60,000 or 2 months, and it's like approximately like 300 or something dollar, like 600 of 2 months. So it's like too much of fee for a poor person to like for a middle class because is even his salary is not even this much. For like it's too much. The fees are so expensive, and then the books and all stuff, the uniforms and all. So yeah, it is very difficult.
So do you think like these wealthy parents are the ones that are also working in the government sometimes?
Yeah, that's true because a lot of people who are from the wealthy family, they are working for the government. They are working for the law and order, like the main things in the country, like the uh, yeah, they are working for the on the government jobs, or maybe they are good doctors, or like they are paid very high salaries from the law and order agencies of the country. So yeah, they do work.
Because it is, I'm just thinking, oh, I'm just wondering, because if this are the people that are working for the government, obviously the government is the one that designs education. So do you think they are giving an advantage to their children, like, or their future generations by designing a system like this, or do you think they don't really think about it?
I don't think so. They care about the future generation. They just get high salaries from the government, and
Okay.
they are investing on their student education. I don't think they have to. They have some say in the lawmaking of the education system. It's just kind of a private education. So government has nothing to do with it. It's kind of a private education because the English medium education back home is totally private. It's in the head of private education system. So
So they can
yeah.
decide what to teach and how to teach
Yeah,
it?
that's all their steps. Like yeah, no one can like say anything, and that's the reason. It's I don't think so. Government has to do something with this.
Okay. So do you think the system of education preserves the social discrepancies, like because a person from low income cannot go to a high income school, that person is going to stay low income?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like for example, they can't go up the class ladder obviously because if he is like is in like he's from a lower middle class or from a middle class, it's very difficult to go jump up the ladder because they don't have the like free hand to pursue their dream. For example, like in America, you have an American dream you can pursue, but back home you can't. If you are in a class, you are in lower class, you will stay in the lower class because it can't help because the upper class won't let you come up the ladder because they don't want you to take over them and enjoy the lifestyle they are enjoying. So yeah, mostly they'll stay in the same class from they are born in. Yeah.
Do you think, as individuals, like nationals from Pakistan, anyone in there, can do anything, like a civil union of, I don't know, ex students like you or other students can do anything to change this? Do you think people are interested and
Uh,
changing it, like our generations?
Yeah, I think the youth is really much conscious about this and all, and especially with the government changing, there have been a lot of things happening in the country, and the education system is also kind of there is a case going in the Supreme Court of Pakistan, and they are thinking of standardizing the education. Like there will be no upper class and lower class, no English medium or Urdu medium,
Mm-hmm.
especially in one of our province. The KPK, like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, they've standardized the education system. There is no English medium or Urdu medium. It's either the government schools in which everyone will study. Even in that province, the son and daughters of the government officers are studying because they finished that difference. So, but it's very difficult to apply it in all the country, but slowly and gradually they are doing it. And the youth also in the form of student unions and all, like they are making unions and all, and creating awareness on Facebooks and social sites, and on magazines and all. Yeah, they are working hard to like change this, that everyone should get an equal opportunity when it's come to getting education.
Okay, and do you think education is a problem, like the system is a problem all around the world, or is it just in countries like yours?
I think it's the problem only in the developing countries which are being developed. I think yeah, it's a lot of problem, and because it is a problem because a lot of people are already in poverty there. It's I think it's the main problem in Asian countries such as like Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka and all kind of stuff, and maybe in other countries it will be, but the system there is so far more better. The like earning ratio and people get so good job opportunities or despite if you are educated or not. Maybe you can't tell, but in our country, like yeah, due to a lot of population and all, it's very difficult to like survive without getting good education because you won't have good jobs in future.
Hmm. Okay. Do you have any other thing that you want to talk about education or?
I think I've covered almost everything in this, but yeah, I hope it gets better in future. So
Okay,
mm.
cool. Thank you so much.